Okay. All right, so right now we're going to practice identifying the parts of this sentence, so before we diagram. So the directions say for number 1, underline the subjects once and the verbs twice. We're going to do that. We're not going to do number 2. We're not going to diagram yet, but we're also going to do a few more things. You guys are used to this. You guys know that we're going to want to, first thing we're going to do is look for prepositional phrases. And then when we find any, we're going to put them in parentheses. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to circle any conjunctions that we find. Okay, so we're going to do this today, and then tomorrow we'll take these sentences that we've already identified and diagram them. So we're going to do a couple together, just so you know, remember how to do this. So the first thing, remember the questions you asked. The first thing you're going to ask, are there any prepositional phrases? So number 1 says, we will ride to the reunion together. Pull out your list of prepositions if you need. It's in a page protector in your planner. You're welcome to use it. I will tell you right now, there is one prepositional phrase in number 1. Can you find it? Okay, the correct answer is to the reunion. That is our prepositional phrase. So go ahead and put parentheses around it. That's really helpful because there will never be the subject or a verb inside the prepositional phrase. So now for the rest of it, we don't need to look inside of there. Now it says we will ride together. So now once we found the prepositional phrases, the first one we say, are there any action verbs? Are there any actions? Yes, there's an action. What is it? Ride. So there's our action verb. Underline verbs 2 times. If there was no action verb, then you would go back and say, are there any being verbs? But we don't have to do that because we did find an action. Okay, so now the second question we ask is, are there any helping verbs? Look before it. We've memorized these. Will, would. Will is a helping verb, so underline there. We now have the verb phrase, will ride. Now we say, are there any other verbs? Because there could be a compound verb. You look through it. We will ride together. No other verbs. So now to find the subject, we take that phrase, will ride, and we say who or what. Who or what will ride? We will ride. Last thing, are there any conjunctions in this sentence? Nope. No conjunctions. We're done. How'd you do? Okay, look at number 2. Grandfather and I babysat my little sister. Okay, here's the routine again. Number 1, are there any prepositional phrases? Grandfather and I babysat my little sister. No prepositions in there. No prepositional phrases. Okay, are there any action verbs? Yes, what's the action? Babysat. Underline it twice. Are there any helping verbs before that? Nope. Are there any other verbs in the sentence? Nope. So now we find the subject. Who or what babysat? Oh, grandfather and I. Grandfather and I are the 2 subjects, so underline them twice. And there's that conjunction, and, because it's a compound subject. Okay, and let's do one more. Number 3, who left this bag here? All right, are there any prepositional phrases? No. Any action? Yes, left. Any other verbs? Any helping verbs? No. Now that's interesting because usually when you see a question, there's a question mark. There's often going to start with a helping verb, but there is no helping verb here. No other verbs. So subject, who or what left? I don't know. We have to ask the question. It has an interrogative pronoun as a subject. Who is the subject? Very good. Okay, I think I've given you several examples. This is how you do it for the rest of the time. Good job.